host of the 2024 CONCACAF Men's Under-20 Championship. The news today is brought to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
Celebrating 3 years since our inception, the NRP brand of radio and other social media platforms on NRP Media JA is your newest online platform accessible for the promotion of your church and community activities along with news and sports related information. It's the platform you have been longing for. So call us today at 876-336-9928 or email us at nationalreligiousmedia@gmail.com.
NRP Media and Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
And now the news in details. The Director of Elections has taken a decision to transfer the final counting of ballots for the electoral divisions in St. Andrew, East Rural, for the local government election held on February 26. The final count will now take place at the Electoral Office of Jamaica's head office at 43 Duke Street, commencing today at 10 a.m. Under the Representation of the People's Act, Section 45(2)(a, says the Director of Elections may change the place selected for the final counting of ballots. It states that the Chief Electoral Officer, whenever he is satisfied that it is expedient to change the place designated for the final count, may direct the returning officer to carry out the final count of votes at such place as the Chief Electoral Office may specify, and to notify each candidate within 24 hours of the issue of such a direction. The Act also gives the Director the power to postpone for a period not exceeding 48 hours, in any one instance, the carrying out of the final count of votes, and to forfeit communicate notice of any such postponement to each candidate. Meanwhile, Director of Elections Glasspool Brown says the full outcome of the recently run local government election may not be known until tomorrow morning. Speaking in an interview with NRP News, Mr. Brown says the EOJ is now faced with the unprecedented move of seeing the recount going into a second day. He says with the recount to begin in St. Andrew East Rural only today, this might impact the EOJ's ability to provide a full disclosure by this afternoon.
Is there any possibility that, as you said, it may go over into Thursday based on what you're seeing?
It might, because there's one constituency that did not start today, will start tomorrow. So normally, I'll expect it should take more than a day and a half, 2 days to complete. As soon as the division is the count by constituency completed, we will so release those information. So some will be released tomorrow. That would put it as for Thursday afternoon, providing non-foreseen activity to take place.
The Director of Elections, Glasspool Brown, speaking with NRP's CEO, Leon Nash. Last night, the EOJ in a release said that up to mid-afternoon yesterday, it had completed counting for 56 electoral divisions of the 228 in the local government election. He said, too, that the figure would have also changed as some divisions continued counting into late last night. And over in Clarendon, where Romaine Morris, formerly of the JLP, won the Mucka seat for the PNP, this was not enough to give the party the upper hand in the Clarendon Municipal Corporation. The presumptive minority leader of the Municipal Corporation, CN Barneswell, says calculating during the preliminary count cost the PNP the municipality.
Well, we had a recount in Indian Town, and because we realized that we would have won by 22, but when we did the final count, lost by 89. At the film count, there was error in terms of the numbers applied, or the numbers announced with the film count. There were some errors in the numbers there. The addition that is going to add up the scores, or the number of votes received. So we would have lost Indian Town, which would have allowed the JLC to be in control of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation with 12 seats, and the People's National Party gained 2 more, and that makes us having 10 seats now.
The presumptive minority leader in Clarendon Municipal Corporation, CN Barneswell. Meanwhile, Mr. Barneswell says despite the loss, this does not negatively impact the operations of the council. Mr. Barneswell says the members of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation have a declared understanding.
It is done in a fair and equitable manner. So it wouldn't really impact on us, in terms of it's just that the ministry just need to ensure that funding comes to the corporation when it is time for it or when it should to be allocated, so that we can carry out a program of work. I don't really expect any victimization with this new administration. I said new because I thought there will be a new chairman and mayor of Maypen for the JLP.
The presumptive minority leader in the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, C.N. Barneswell. Parents and guardians are being encouraged to consider the child diversion program for their children who come into conflict with the law. Being implemented by the Ministry of Justice, the program is designed to steer child offenders away from the criminal justice system. It caters to children 12 to 17 years old who are suspected or accused of committing an offense. Director of the ministry's Child Diversion Branch, Vanessa Clark, told the JIS News that while many Jamaicans are acclimatized to more punitive forms of justice, certain matters involving children should be given a different approach. Ms. Clark said justice looks different for everyone, and the program seeks to provide children with an opportunity to accept the responsibility for what they have done, but to not be criminalized for it for the rest of their lives. She added that if they make one mistake, it doesn't mean that for the rest of their lives they have to be reminded about this mistake. She said it is clear that children will be children and they will make mistakes, so parents should know that this is an option for them. She pointed out that if a child is remanded at a police station or sent before a court, parents and guardians can ask if the matter is one that may be considered for child diversion. Once referred, one of the 14 offices of the Child Diversion Branch will provide the necessary interventions, including mentorship free of cost. Ms. Clark noted that the program, which started in March 2020, is the first of its kind in Jamaica. The National Road Safety Council, NRSC, has received funding of US $400,000 to procure speed monitoring devices and breath testing equipment for Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, to assist in reducing road fatalities. Program coordinator of the NRSC, Victor Anderson, says some of the money will also be used for administration of the project, improvement in data capture for road crashes, improvement of injury reporting systems, as well as training of officers. He pointed out that the National Road Safety Council, through the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, applied to the United Nations Road Safety Fund last year and received some funding. He said a big part of that funding is to help equip the police with additional devices for use in speed monitoring and in breath analysis breathalyzers. Mr. Anderson added that the NRSC is now gathering the specifications to begin the procurement process and is hoping that the police will put into a position to have some additional devices this year. Mr. Anderson further explained that the NRSC is seeking to acquire state-of-the-art speed monitoring devices that once it detects speeding, will be able to print a report that includes a picture of the vehicle and record the speed at which the driver is going. Mr. Anderson says he believes the procurement of the breathalyzers will assist in reducing road crashes caused by persons driving under the influence. In other news, the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, BSTEB, have listed Andrew Abraham of Guava Ridge, Mavis Bank, St. Andrew, as a person of interest. He is to report to the PSTEB process office by 9 a.m. today. Abraham is being sought by the police in relation to traffic matters. Additionally, anyone with information that can assist in locating Andrew Abraham is asked to contact PSTEB at 876-928-1162, Crime Stop at 311, the JCF tip line at 811, or the nearest police station. SLUs assigned to the Narcotics Division in St. James are investigating the seizure of 1.6 kilogram of cocaine and the arrest of a British national at the Sanctus International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James on Monday, February 26, 2024. Reports are that about 3 p.m., lawmen were conducting operations in the area when a female was accosted by the operatives. The woman was in the process of checking on a flight to London, England. After a preliminary interview, the police became suspicious and carried out a search of her luggage, which revealed 1.6 kgs of cocaine concealed in Jamaican craft items. The estimated street value of the cocaine in the UK is £38,000. She was subsequently arrested and placed on reasonable suspicion of breaches of the Dangerous Drug Act. However, her name has been withheld pending further investigations. You are listening to news on NRP Radio, your primary Christian source for news, sports, and the weather on nrpmediaja.com, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
Hi, I'm Genevieve.
And I'm Kalisha. And we are the Christo Praises. You're listening to NRP Media and Radio. Reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
And now let's give you some sporting information brought to you by Hepburn's Glass, located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suckers at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none. Same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 9080962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass. Quality service is our priority.
And now for our sports stories. CONCACAF has announced that the cities of Arapuato and Celaya in the state of Guanajuato, Mexico, will host the 2024 CONCACAF Men's Under-20 Championship. The World Cup qualifying competition will take place from July 19 to August 4 and will feature the participation of the 12 best CONCACAF Under-20 men's national teams. CONCACAF General Secretary Felipe Moggio says the CONCACAF Men's Under-20 Championship is a very important competition for the continued development of the best young players in the region. He added that it provides them with a platform to compete with the best in CONCACAF and to qualify to play on the global stage at a FIFA Under-20 World Cup. He added that the CONCACAF team is happy to be working hand in hand with the Mexican Football Federation, the government of Guanajuato, and all local stakeholders to offer the participating national teams and fans an unforgettable tournament. The 2024 CONCACAF Under-20 Championship will begin with a group stage of 12 teams, including the 6 highest ranked teams according to the CONCACAF rankings, and 6 that will qualify through a qualifying phase. The 6 best ranked teams are the United States, Honduras, Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, and the Dominican Republic. At the conclusion of the group stage, where each team will play 3 games, the top 2 finishers in each group and the 2 best third places will advance to the quarterfinals. The knockout stage will include 8 teams, starting with the quarterfinals, followed by the semifinals and finals, where the new regional champion will be crowned. In addition, the 4 semi-finalists of the tournament will guarantee their participation in the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. The competition's 25 matches will be divided into 2 venues: Estadio Sergio Leon Chavez in Erika, Porto, and Estadio Miguel Aleman Valdez in Celaya. The official draw, where the 12 participating teams will be divided into 3 groups of 4, will take place in April 2024 at the Confederation headquarters in Miami, Florida. Still on football, Erling Haaland scored 5 in a stunning display of finishing as holders Manchester City thrashed Luton to reach the FA Cup quarterfinals. It was in our region's 8th hat-trick for City, and he also became the first player to score 5 in a game twice for the club. City opened the scoring in the 4th minute when Kevin De Bruyne, who assisted the first 4 goals, was allowed time and space to cut the ball back for Haaland to convert. The pair combined again 15 minutes later, with Haaland running on to go through ball before powering it to pass Luton goalkeeper Tim Krul, and it was a similar move that brought the third, only this time with a delicate dink to finish. Jordan Clark pulled one back for Luton with a stunning strike, curled beautifully into the top corner from 25 yards on the stroke of half-time, and gave Bob Edwards' side hope of a memorable comeback with a thumping finish 7 minutes into the second half. Finally, St. Jago High School family mourns the loss of distinguished past student and renowned track and field analyst Hubert Lawrence. It is reported that he died at home sometime on Friday. Born in 1960, Lawrence has been a consistently credible voice for all major track and field events, with his sharp analysis and vast knowledge of the sport.
I bump into John Messer, who becomes my good friend, former Jamaica hurdler. And when he retires, he has an idea, the Hurdles and Field Events Classic. I said, John, that will never work.
For years, he put pen to paper, chronicling his perspectives and the history of Jamaica's track and field legacy as an author and columnist. Mr. Lawrence co-authored the commemorative Champs 100 book with fellow St. Jagoite Michael Grant. They also worked on Power and the Glory, Jamaica in World Athletics from World War II to the Diamond League era in 2012, as well as 50 Days of Fire in 2022. He was considered in some spheres as an encyclopedia of Jamaica's athletic history. Chairman of the St. Jago High School Board of Governors, Lisa Grant, described Mr. Lawrence as a consummate gentleman and a dear lifelong friend. He represented the school in football and table tennis and had one of the most beautiful tenor voices in the school's award-winning glee club. She says this profound loss is deeply felt by the entire St. Jago family, far and wide. The school's principal, Colette Price, says this news comes as a major shock to the entire St. Jago family. Hubert is a raven of whom we are most proud. We pray for his family and friends in this time. President of the St. Jago Past Student Association, Jamaica chapter, Dwayne Haynes, has all expressed condolences. He says Mr. Lott was a proud past student, a true embodiment of the spirit of St. Jago. We are shocked by this news. His passing has left a gap in local track and field and the hearts of many who loved him dearly. That's sports, brought to you by Hepburn's Glass, located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 1/8 mirror thickness and 3/16 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 9080962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass, quality service is our priority.
We promise to bring you a good news story as often as we can. If you know of or are aware of any event or person whose good story we should highlight, please send this information to our email address at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com or call or WhatsApp 876-336-9928. That's the local news and sport. Stand by now for the latest international news, courtesy of the Voice of America.
This is VOA News. I'm Tommy McNeil. U.S. congressional leaders met with U.S. President Joe Biden Tuesday to discuss spending as billions of dollars in foreign aid packages remain stalled. The Republican majority House of Representatives, jeopardizing the delivery of $60 billion in aid to Ukraine to help it defeat Russia. VOA's Catherine Gibson reports.
Which also includes $14 billion in aid for Israel and $4.8 billion for Indo-Pacific partners, including Taiwan, to combat Chinese aggression until the situation at the U.S.-Mexico border is secured.
The first priority of the country is our border and making sure it's secure. I believe the president can take executive authority right now today to change that.
A bipartisan agreement to make changes to U.S. immigration law in return for aid to Ukraine fell apart after months of negotiation due to Republican objections. Catherine Gibson, VOA News.
U.S. National Security spokesperson John Kirby said Tuesday that there will not be U.S. troops on the ground in Ukraine.
President Biden has been crystal clear since the beginning of this conflict. There will be no U.S. troops on the ground in a combat role there. In Ukraine.
Kirby's comments came after being asked. French President Emmanuel Macron said on Monday that France could not rule out sending troops on the ground to Ukraine. France's foreign minister later sought to clarify Macron's comments, saying Paris could send troops to Ukraine for specific needs, but not to fight in the war against Russia. Kirby also denied the U.S. could have non-combat participation in the war. This is VOA News.
That was the latest international news from the VOA. Now for the weather report and forecast. The National Meteorological Service is reporting that there's a significant feature of a weak trough across Jamaica. The impact from the trough is forecasted to further reduce as a ridge is expected to start building across Jamaica through today. The 24-hour forecast. This morning, partly cloudy with isolated showers mainly across coastal areas of northern parishes. This afternoon, cloudy with isolated mainly across eastern, south, central, and western parishes. In our 3-day forecast, after tomorrow, Thursday, isolated morning showers across northeastern parishes, isolated afternoon showers across southern parishes, otherwise partly cloudy. Friday, becoming cloudy with occasional showers, beginning across eastern parishes, becoming windy on the north coast. Saturday, becoming cloudy with occasional showers, beginning across eastern parishes, then to north, central, and the western parishes. Other current regional features: high pressure systems across the Gulf of Mexico and the western Atlantic. That is the latest weather report and forecast on NRP Radio. With that, we have come to the end of our news presentation this morning. But before we go, here are the headlines once again. Counting for 56 electoral divisions of the 228 in the local government election complete, but EOJ says the full outcome might not be known until Thursday. NRSC receives funding of US $400,000 to procure speed monitoring devices and breath testing equipment for the JCF. PSTEB lists Andrew Abraham, Origin Mavis Bank, St. Andrew, as a person of interest. And in sport, CONCACAF announces cities in Mexico as a host of the 2024 CONCACAF Men's Under-20 Championship. The full half-hour package of news in this NRP Break of Day newscast came to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations. Here is your invitation to join us again this evening at 6:30 for the NRP Evening News Roundup. On behalf of the entire news and production teams, I am Lou Ann Bramwell Shakes for the NRP News. We encourage you to join this growing medium by subscribing to our YouTube channel at NRP Media JA. Feel fulfilled and informed. Have a good rest of your morning. Reminding you too that if you walk, ride or drive, make every effort to arrive alive. Have a good day.
Radio listener, here is another opportunity to join the NRP family and stay for the fellowship in word, features, and music 24/7. Yes, every Tuesday night, Minister Richard Sutton, one of our newest connecting partner, will be right here on the NRP brand with gospel praise 9 to 10:30 p.m. and then rejoin us at 11 p.m. Tuesday nights to 1 a.m. Wednesday mornings. It will be 3.5 hours of word of encouragement, delving into the scripture with regular readings, prayer, and interaction with you listening on the World Wide Web. Yes, it's Gospel Expression Radio, located at Hempstead in the Nassau County of New York, teaming up with the National Religious Partnership Media and Radio, Tuesdays 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Wednesday mornings. It's a partnership like never before, with NRP Radio reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
Four Seasons Sports and Equipment, the Sports Closet, now located at shop number 3, Leaders Plaza, Nashville, Mandeville, Manchester. Call them today at 876-613-74